There's a certain type of older man women don't forget. Not because he's flashy, not because he's rich, not because he's trying to look younger than he is. In fact, when he enters a room, he doesn't demand attention at all. And yet, something shifts. Women notice him without knowing why. They feel calmer, more present, slightly drawn in. Not excited in a chaotic way, but pulled. This attraction isn't loud. It's quiet, grounded, almost invisible. And here's the truth most dating advice will never tell you. This kind of attraction is not random. It's not mystical. And it has nothing to do with tricks or games. It follows very specific psychological mechanisms rooted in female nervous system responses, emotional regulation, and attachment dynamics. Today, I'm going to break down 4 behaviors certain older men naturally display, often without realizing it, that consistently trigger deep attraction in women. Not temporary interest, not polite curiosity, but the kind of attraction that makes a woman feel safe and alive, and more importantly, makes her want to stay. Why most dating advice stops working for older men. Most modern dating advice wasn't built for men who have lived. It's built for younger men still trying to figure out who they are, how fast to reply, what emoji to use, how to create artificial mystery, how to win attention. But once you've lived, once you've loved deeply, once you've been in long relationships, faced breakups, rebuilt yourself, those rules stop working. Worse, they begin to work against you. Because mature women no longer respond to surface-level signals. They don't respond to clever lines. They don't respond to constant reassurance. They don't respond to performance. They respond to coherence. They respond to emotional safety mixed with tension. They respond to men who are internally aligned. And this is where many older men unknowingly sabotage attraction. They believe stability is enough. They believe kindness is enough. They believe seriousness is enough. But desire is not activated by moral qualities. Desire is activated by emotional signals. A man can be perfect on paper and completely neutral to a woman's nervous system. That's why women sometimes say, "You're an amazing man. I just don't feel anything." What she's really saying is, "My body doesn't respond to you." Because attraction is not a logical decision. It's a physiological response. And that response is triggered by 4 core pillars. Pillar 1. Grounded confidence, the calm that lowers her guard. The first pillar is the most misunderstood. Some older men radiate confidence, but not loud confidence, not dominance, not arrogance. It's a grounded confidence. They don't rush to explain themselves. They don't overjustify their decisions. They don't narrate their emotions. They speak simply. They pause comfortably. They listen without disappearing. And most importantly, they don't try to convince. Psychologically, this creates a powerful effect. When a man communicates without defending himself or seeking approval, the female brain registers emotional stability. The amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for threat detection, lowers its activity, and only in that lowered threat state can desire emerge. This is why excessive explaining backfires. A man who constantly reassures, clarifies, and verbalizes everything often signals insecurity, even if his intentions are pure. Unconsciously, it's read as a need for validation, a fear of being misunderstood, a subtle lack of inner certainty. A centered man doesn't explain who he is. He embodies it. This is what women describe as presence, and presence is deeply attractive, especially to women who have experienced emotional chaos and are done with it. They no longer want reactive men. They want men who can hold themselves. Pillar 2. A full life, not scarcity, not performance. The second pillar is closely connected to the first. Women are drawn to men who have a full life, not a busy life for appearances, not fake scarcity, not constant self-improvement theater. A real life, routines, commitments, responsibilities, passions that exist independently of her. When an older man makes a woman the immediate center of his universe, the effect is the opposite of what he expects. It creates pressure, and desire cannot grow under pressure. Mature women do not want to become someone's entire world. They want to be a meaningful addition to a life that already has structure. When a man moves forward in his own rhythm, when he isn't instantly available at all times, when his attention is intentional rather than constant, he sends a powerful signal of value, not because he's playing hard to get, but because his life is already full. Neurologically, this activates dopamine. Dopamine doesn't respond to reward. It responds to anticipation. A man who doesn't rush connection, who doesn't skip steps, who allows desire to build naturally, becomes intriguing. More importantly, he becomes believable. Because he's not looking for someone to fill a void. He's inviting someone to share something that already exists. And that is deeply reassuring to a woman. Pillar 3. Playful masculinity without need. This is where many older men struggle. They become serious too fast. They want to be respected. They want to be taken seriously. They want to show maturity. And they forget something essential. Desire needs play, not vulgarity, not childish behavior, but lightness. A look held a second longer. A smile that expects nothing. A teasing remark with no agenda. The key is freedom from outcome. A man who flirts without needing a result creates ease, and ease is magnetic. From a neuroscience perspective, playfulness disarms vigilant circuits. The woman doesn't feel evaluated. She doesn't feel claimed. She doesn't feel pressure to respond a certain way. She feels invited, and that difference changes everything. Women with life experience are exhausted by heavy interactions. They are tired of hidden expectations, emotional pressure, conversations that feel like negotiations. An older man who stays playful without need becomes rare. He shows emotional strength. He shows he can hold tension without converting it into anxiety. Very few men can do this. Pillar 4. Clear standards and the willingness to walk away. This is the most powerful pillar of all. Women are deeply drawn to men who have clear standards, not demands, not ultimatums, standards. A man who knows what he accepts and what he doesn't. When a man can calmly walk away from what doesn't align with him, without anger or drama, he sends an extraordinarily strong signal. Self-respect, and self-respect is magnetic. From an attachment perspective, this creates polarity. The woman senses that. She is desired, not needed. She is chosen, not clung to. And paradoxically, this increases desire, because desire never moves toward dependency. It moves toward strength. A man with standards doesn't threaten. He doesn't negotiate endlessly. He doesn't chase alignment. He acts, and the alignment between his words and his actions builds trust. Trust that allows desire to settle without fear. When these 4 pillars combine, when calm confidence, a full life, playful masculinity, and clear standards come together, something rare emerges. Emotional leadership, not dominance, not control. Inner leadership. These men don't try to lead women. They lead themselves. And that is exactly what many women are unconsciously searching for. Not a perfect man, not a spectacular man, an aligned man. A man whose presence calms and attracts at the same time. That is why some women become deeply attached to these men. Not because they tried harder, but because they finally stopped trying and started being. If this resonated, you already know why. And if you're becoming this man, keep going, because attraction at this level is not created. It's revealed.